Erika Kirk, the widow of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, has delivered an emotional public address days after her husband was fatally shot during a campus speaking event in Utah. Appearing at Turning Point, USA's headquarters in Arizona, Ms. Kirk stood beside the empty chair her husband once used for podcast recordings as she thanked first responders, supporters, and political allies. Her remarks were marked by grief, but also by a determination to see her husband's mission continue. Let's take a look.
Evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment.
It was quite difficult for Kirk, Erika, to hold back the tears. Charlie, who was killed on Wednesday while participating in his American comeback tour at Utah Valley University. He died at 31 years. The event is part of his nationwide series of campus debates, which had drawn both supporters and vocal opponents. Police identified the suspected shooter as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who was taken into custody after surrendering to authorities the following day. His motives remain under investigation. Kirk's death has deepened the sense of political polarization across the United States, highlighting the risks faced by public figures in an increasingly volatile climate. Erika spoke of the challenge of explaining the sudden loss to the couple's young children, aged 1 and 3. She stressed that her husband's work would not end with his death, promising that both his podcast, his campus tour would continue. Her remarks positioned the killing not only as a personal tragedy, but as a rallying point for the conservative movement Kirk helped shape. Kirk was a well-known conservative voice who built Turning Point USA from a student-led organization into a national platform that energized young conservatives and became a key part of Donald Trump's MAGA coalition. President Trump has announced that Kirk will be awarded a posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom. Well-deserved, we would say. He called him a champion of liberty and a vital figure in the conservative movement. Let's take a look.
Let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Erika, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
A well-deserved one for Charlie. Also, Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, Usha, personally accompanied Kirk's casket aboard Air Force Two from Utah to Arizona, where his family resides. Let's take a look. We would say Charlie's death was horrible and maybe probably senseless. But then Charlie has a lot of legacy. He has made a lot of legacy. We see that Turning Point USA described Kirk as a pioneer whose work would resonate beyond his life, asking for prayers for the family during what it called an incomprehensible loss. Kirk's prominence was rooted in his ability to connect with conservative youth while stirring controversy across American campus. He was a vocal supporter of gun rights, a staunch opponent of abortion, and a critic of transgender rights. He also amplified false claims about COVID-19, positioning himself as a culture warrior within the Republican base. While supporters saw him as an accessible leader who gave voice to their frustrations, critics accused him of promoting rhetoric that harmed marginalized communities. His death has not only sparked mourning among his followers, but has also intensified debate about his influence on U.S. politics. Despite the tragedy, Erika emphasized that her husband's vision would endure, representing the moment as a turning point. She framed the shooting as the beginning of a broader movement to uphold his ideals. Kirk's funeral arrangements are being planned in Arizona, where his wife and children live. His death has underscored the dangers of political violence in the U.S. and the enduring divides that continues to shape public discourse. Charlie's death has a lot of questions. It has thrown a lot of questions, and a lot of people are really mourning all over the world, and not just in US, in Europe, and all over the world.